Hey there, it's Patrick LoSasso. I've developed an approach and an exercise class format to help with balance and fall prevention, and I'm sharing it with you here. I call it the Scramble. I've decided to share episode 4 with my YouTube friends. Before today, the class was only available to subscribers of my SmartXPD OnDemand platform, and that's a paid subscription. It's different than YouTube, but it contains every program I've ever produced, plus an exclusive library of videos and workouts only available there. Now, this class contains some challenging balance and coordination drills, so be extremely careful and make sure you're cleared for exercise by your medical team. Now, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, which is free, by clicking the red button below and ring the bell icon so you'll never miss a new video. All of my programs are available on Amazon or my website, but the SmartXPD OnDemand platform I just referenced gives you immediate access to every program I have ever produced, plus exclusive workouts just available there, just like this one you're about to see. You can test drive it for free by clicking the card up here in the corner, and I'll put a link to it in the description section below. Now, this is a 50-minute workout, so get your water bottle and let's get to the scramble. The Scramble Fall Prevention class. All right, for this class, we're going to use a bottle of water, which we're going to be drinking from, 2 hand weights, exercise tubing, a ball, and a towel. We don't always get to every piece of equipment, but it's nice to have that handy so we can use it if the mood sways us. Okay, let me just get something. Let's actually leave that going. Okay, so I'm going to mute us here. We'll get going. So we've been starting the class with a general warm-up. So you can do this class in the chair or both the chair and standing. I'm going to be standing for the full class. We're going to do a little warm-up here. We're going to do the Regenerations Tango, which is a movement drill that gets our hips moving in the different patterns and different directions that the hip can do, and also helps us work on setting our posture. So first thing I have us do is stand up nice and tall and go ahead and set your posture to what you believe your perfect posture should be. And yes, Shirley, I was going to just ask you to do that, and you did it ahead of time. Go ahead and look down. This is a fall prevention class. We want to work and harness the value of muscle memory. I want you guys to focus on always quietly go about training your feet to keep a nice wide base of support. Age-related factors and Parkinson's can have us bring our heels together like this, which is not good because we don't have much lateral stability. So we're always going to be training for this. So this is kind of a common theme as we're stepping through different patterns, always returning to this wide base. I never put your feet side by side. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to get our body warmed up. The hip can do 6 primary things with an infinite variety of variation of difference in slight direction, distance in slight direction. It can step forward, it can step backwards, it can step out to the side, it can step forward across your midline, it can step backwards across your midline, and then really the last thing it can do is if you were going to change directions and go another way, this way or here. So that's pretty much what our hips can do, and again, with variations of distance and slight angles, of course. But this Regenerations Tango is comprised of 10 movements, and we're going to do all 10 today. We'll take it slow. It's not going to be overly intense, but it's just meant to get our body moving and our hips familiar with these movements in these different directions. So for the first movement, we're going to set our posture. We're going to step back with our right leg, bring our hands across to our shoulders, and give the shoulders a big, healthy squeeze. And you'll notice, as I step back, I go ahead and kind of snap to posture like a soldier. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you step back, kind of give me a little stomp. Not a huge stomp, but a little pressure on the sole of that foot to kind of remind or position that body as you snap to proper posture. So this is movement number 1. We'll do 3 movements at a time for now, and then we'll put them in series. So our hip is getting used to and familiar with how it feels to step back and land and gain control. So that's good. And we're repeating it so it knows what's coming and it can recognize how that feels. One more on each side. Movement number 2 is to step forward and raise your arms up in the air as if you're hailing down a rescue plane. And again, same thing here. As you step back, go ahead and give me a little bit of a stomp there. Basically just trying to make a more defined muscular imprint of that posture, of that perfect posture that we are working on. Keep the air flowing. And again, call your attention to the theme of the return step. So we step back into that nice wide base of support. One more on each side. And now step laterally out to the side and make the motion of throwing a basketball out to the side. Keep breathing, keep the air flowing, keep the body moving. Good. There you go. So this is movement number 3. In a moment we're going to put these movements in series, but just feel how it, notice as you step out and land the foot, notice how the body and the foot feels, the sole of the foot as you regain control stepping to the side. One more on each side. And let's now put them into a series. So we step back, we step forward, practice all 3 of these directions, and now to the side, throwing that ball. Step back, and forward, wave the hands, out to the side. And we're going to continue, step back, step forward, to the side, and one more, step back, forward, wave those hands, big movements to the side, and we're going to go ahead and march. So we're going to work on balance, we're going to work on movement, strength, we're also going to work on our ability to respond to a visual prompt. So I'm going to have you drop down here, and when you see me move, you stay in front of me. Good. This is our little reaction drill game. Excellent. March, and then snap to posture. Let's go ahead and glance down and look at our feet. Hopefully there's a nice wide base. We're still working on that. All right, step forward for movement 4 and make the motion with the arms as if you were shoving these elevator doors wide open. And again, the return step comes back nice and wide. Nice snap to proper posture. Good, Sue-Ann. That's it. I need you guys to ask something of yourselves. I want you to challenge yourselves a little bit here. One more on each side. This is movement 4. Movement 5 is step backwards once again and take both hands and press them forward as if you're pushing your friend out of that elevator. That's it. So we're going to challenge ourselves. If you need to take a break or you need to rest, try to do so while you're standing and moving a little bit. Just slow it down a little bit. Try not just to stand and stop. Back and press. Let's do 2 more. This is movement 5. Now movement 6 is a side step again. And go ahead and put your hand on your hip and your other arm up over your head, creating the shape of a figure 8 with your arms. So again, we're repeating each one of these moves, so we're familiarizing the hip and the body with how it feels to step repeatedly out to the side and back, or forward and back, or backward and back. And then we put them in series so it becomes a little less expected for the hip. Heightens the kind of anticipatory response required to maintain balance. One more on each side. And let's put them in series. Go ahead, stand up nice and tall. We're going to go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So We'll take it slow. Step back, squeeze the shoulders. Step forward, raise the hands. Step out to the side, throw the ball. Step forward, elevator doors. Step back, push your friend out. And figure eight. Now I know I'm asking a lot of you with all these moves, but I want to cram one more little thing into your brain there, and that is to focus on the return step. See if you can contain that as well. So we're stepping forward, return step nice and wide, back to the base, step back, and out to the side. Wouldn't it be great if we created such a nice strong base of movement or practice of movement that we never had to worry about the scramble because we always had our balance? And step forward, elevator door, step backward, push your friend out to the side, and we will do one more time. Step back, step forward, hail down the rescue plane, out to the side, elevator doors, step back, push them out, and out to the side. Good. And march. So that's movements 1 through 6. And our next break, we're going to do movements 7 through 10. But right now, we're going to get back down and get back to that reaction drill. Good. Go neutral. Don't try to guess. We're going to add something to this. If I bring my foot forward, you're going to get your foot forward and back before I get mine back. So it'll look like that on your end. Yeah, we're combining them. Oh, yeah. Let's add a mirror drill to it. We can get that in there. I gotcha. Who thought exercise could be so fun? Okay, march. Okay, so for 7 through 10, these get to some more complex body positions and hip patterns. For movement 7, we're going to take the right foot, step across midline, and clap your hands in front of you twice. Got to add a little rhythm and music to this. So, for all of these, I probably should have said this a little earlier, as you're stepping, whatever leg you're stepping with, try to shift your full weight onto that foot, or about 90% of your weight onto the leg that's moving and stepping. Same principle here, snap to proper posture. One more on each side. And for movement 8, we're going to step backward across midline, bend the knees down a little bit, and if you can, give me 2 snaps. If you can't give snaps, too hard to snap, just go ahead and flick your fingers. Good. So this is movement number 8. The jets are in gear. The cylinders are clicking. So, one more here. Movement 9 is again a step to the side, but we're going to make the motion of taking a medicine ball and throwing it up as high as we can overhead and behind us. Really kind of arch back. This is very balance intensive for this move here. Probably one of the most challenging ones if you're really arching back and looking up towards the sky, because we are losing the horizon, which gives us a whole bunch of information in terms of how we're standing. Movement 9. Good. Keep moving. One more step on each side. And now movement 10 is a simple step forward and make the arm motion as pulling the curtains aside as you step out to take your bow. Encore. The performance was astounding. We want to see more. Can you please do the Regenerations Tango one more time? From beginning to end, it's riveting. Show-stopping. Good. And let's do 2 steps, 2 more steps. 1, 2, and rest for a second here. We're now going to do movements 1 through 10, and I'm going to take it slow. Nice tall posture. Step back with the right leg. Grab the shoulders. Step forward with the right leg. Raise your hands. Movement 3, out to the side. Toss the ball. Elevator doors for 4. Stepping forward. Step backwards. Push your friend out of the elevator. Out to the side for the figure 8. All right, here's movement 7. Step forward across midline. Give me your claps. Movement 8. Step back and snap. Movement 9. Step out to the side. Toss the ball. And movement 10. Step forward and pull the curtain aside. Back to 1. Step back. Grab the shoulders. Step forward. Hail down the plane. Out to the side. And step forward. Open those elevator doors. Step back and push your friend out. Lateral step to the side. 7. Step forward. Give me the claps. Snaps next as you step back. And out to the side. Throw that ball overhead and step forward and pull the curtain out. 1 more time from the top. Hello, Jim. Step back. Grab the shoulders. Step forward. Shake down the hands. Out to the side. Elevator doors. Step back and push. Out to the side. And movement 7. Claps. Snaps. Out to the side. And step forward and grab that curtain. Okay, march and drop down. Here we go. Reaction drill. I'm going to add one more thing to this. It's going to be a little hard to see, but if you see me go backwards, you're going to take 2 quick steps back and 2 steps back to the work area. Get back to your work area before I do. Get back quicker, Bill. I know it's a lot to contain. Just do your best. Let's add the mirror drill to this as well. Good. March and rest. Good job. Okay, grab a sip of water. And okay, let's do some balance. Grab your ball, and we're going to mix balance in between the exercises. Going to give ourselves a little bit of a rest from the movement and focus on balance. This is the Scramble class, and I'm just going to demonstrate something for you. When we lose our balance, our response is to try to get it back, to scramble to get it back. We're going to work on balance, so hopefully that never is required, but a lot of what we're doing in this class is to make sure if we need to scramble that we do it successfully. So go ahead and check your feet again, make sure they're nice and wide and based, and we're going to toss the ball from side to side, and we're going to come up on our tiptoes. If you had to do what I just did there, that's a mini scramble, that's fine. Just see if you can balance on your tiptoes. Let's put a little bounce in it as well. So bounce on your tiptoes, keeping your edge of your heels off the ground. Add a little something different to it. A little bit of bounce. And we're going to go put the feet flat, and we're going to do our edge of the heel stilt walk. Knees are straight, and we're just stepping and stepping back and forth on each side, letting the hip just find the position it needs to go to Allow us to continue to stay in this general area, balancing on the edge of the hip. Toss it back and forth, breathe. And go ahead and put the feet flat. Now take a big step forward, well, not too big. A step forward with the right leg so that your heel is just past your toe in the front foot. Put a little bend, whenever doing balance, put a little bend in your knees and your hips so you have equity. You don't want to be on the top full extension of any joint. So just bring yourself down so you have control. Toss the ball and then come up on your tiptoes. And today let's see if we can add that little bounce to it as well in this position. Kind of like this. So I'm balancing through the bounce. If you're going to toss the ball, which is great, you can toss it without looking at it, right? But that's not why we're doing it. What we're trying to do is take your vision for a second or two out of the balance equation by following a moving object, right? So get that ball up into your field of view and just track it as best you can. A little bit of a bounce, like it, like it, like it. Might have to write that one down. All right, step out of that. Let's reverse the setup. So go ahead and step forward now with your left leg. Little bend in the knees and hips and come up on your toes. Gain a little bit of a bounce. Back and forth. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Woo! Good. And step out of that. Okay, last little sequence we're going to do here is we're going to do heel to toe positioning. So like if you were on a tightrope, we're not going to step with it this time. We're just going to weight shift forward and backward, and we're going to bend our knees a little bit down and up as well. So a little cheat to this, if it's too hard to put we'll start with the right foot in front of the left. If you can't keep them directly in line, go ahead and there's two ways to kind of adjust for this. One is to kind of gently hold on to something, and the other is to stagger your feet a little bit so they're close together, but they're not directly in line. That'll give you a little more control. But what I want is get you into a position where you're having to, you can maybe maintain it for a couple of seconds, like at least 5 seconds, but you're having to adjust and get through that. I don't want it to be so easy that it's like nothing, right? So what we'll first start by doing, weight evenly distributed between each, is we're going to bend our knees and go down a little bit lower and then come on back up. You'll notice I'm not tossing the ball right now because this is actually challenging enough for me. If you've got this and it's like no big deal, you can go ahead and toss the ball side to side. This is one of the more challenging foot positions for balance. And bend the knees one more time. Toss it and catch it. And then come on up. And now, with our knees and hips are bent a little bit, we're just going to lean forward in the front leg and backward into the back leg. So just a little bit of a weight shift into the front foot, and then weight shift to the back foot. And I'll turn it around so I'm facing you again. So weight shift forward and backward. And you go ahead and toss the ball if you like. Good. And step out of that, set the posture. Look down. How are your feet? My feet, I can fit a soccer ball between them, I'm fine. Just make note of that. If your feet are too close together, we still got a little bit of work to do. All right, so go ahead. What I want to have you do is, without thinking about it, you're always standing in that nice wide base. That's what we're seeking to accomplish with this. Left foot goes in front of the right. And get the balance, weight evenly distributed, and we're going to lower ourselves down, bend down, low, and then come on up and down. So we got a couple of folks without their cameras on, which is absolutely fine. I want to say hello to you guys as well. It's always nice to see you, but you're welcome if you want to keep your cameras off. I completely understand. That's fine too. Thank you for joining us. Up and down. I'm going to toss the ball. I've got it a little bit. I've made a couple successful up and down, so I need to make it a little more challenging. Yep. We're looking for those events. We got to put ourselves in positions where we're having to adjust and control and counter. That's where the balance practice occurs, right? Practice makes what? Yes! Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and lean into that front foot and then push back into the back foot. So we're weight shifting again. I'll turn to the side this time. So lean into that front foot, weight goes forward, and then weight goes back. And I'm holding the no money stretch here for my upper body position. Bring your hands out to the side a little bit will assist. In other words, if I were to put my hands across my shoulders like this, it's going to make balance more difficult. This gives me a little more lateral stability. Lowers my center of gravity just a little bit by bringing your arms out. And go ahead and step out of that. Big breath in. Okay, go ahead and take another sip of water. And we're going to do something for foot speed, and we're going to work up to the more intense circuit of the class. So, tapping of your foot, or keeping your feet and your hips able to really move and get to position is important. So we want to be practicing and keeping and maintaining speed in the legs and in the feet. So you can, if you have trouble tapping your feet, we're going to do a little foot tap drill. You can go ahead and grab a chair. In fact, I'll grab one out just for demonstration purposes, and hold on to it to either help support your body, or to be more sure of being able to move this foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap out to the side and back. Put all of your weight on your left leg and just tap to the side and back. Ball the foot, kind of bounce it maybe on the floor. Keep a little engagement on that ankle and just tap, tap, tap as quick as you can. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Switch it up to the other side now. So our left leg to the side and back. Get the speed going. Put a little bend in your knee and your hip on this balance leg or stance leg and get them going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Feels a little bit awkward, right? Don't worry about it. Just get the speed that you can. Get this out of the way. So now back to putting your weight on the left leg, and we're going to go forward and back. Get that speed going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Weight goes back to the right side, left foot forward and back. Get it going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. You might notice one leg feels a little more natural or feels a little faster than the other. We're all asymmetrical, don't sweat it. Now we're going to go back to the right leg, and we're going to do a little side back forward back pattern. Side back forward back. Make it a little side back forward back. This is where we want to get our top hat and cane. Feels awkward, right? Just don't worry, power through it. Just it's more, the speed of the foot is more important than making sure you get side back forward back. It's tough. Switch. Now to the left, side back forward back. This is fast. And this is balance as well if you're not holding onto a chair, right? And rest. Okay. Let's go back to the side back, and we're going to alternate. So side back, right leg, and then left leg. Side back, side back. You got to weight shift kind of quickly to get through this, right? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Right leg forward back, left leg forward back, forward back, forward back. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, for the denouement, or not denouement, whatever the, so they, whatever, I don't know, the top of the deal here. We're gonna go side back, forward back, side back, forward back, side back. The culmination. Side back, forward back, side back, forward back. And don't worry if you don't get it right, just kind of power through it. We're looking for foot speed. A little cute little drill here. Top hat and cane. Keep going. And rest. March in position. And we're going to do a little back and forth drill here in preparation for our circuit. And what I'm going to have you do is just tap side by side, bring your feet out apart from each other, and then bring them back towards each other. Nice and even. Don't worry about too much speed now, because we're going to put this little thing here in the circuit drill, which we're going to get to right after this. Coming down and back up. Down and back up. You can see how these types of exercises may have the effect of allowing you to kind of, or helping you pull this scramble off in the case you need to. Oh, okay. Whew. And march in place and clear that stress. Okay, let's go ahead and do some strength training. We're gonna do that circuit of 4 exercises. Go ahead and grab a sip of water. So you're gonna grab your 2 hand weights, and we're gonna create a circuit comprised of 4 exercises designed to strengthen you and speed you up. All right. So, with a hand weight in each hand, we're going to spread our base here, and we're going to perform a squat. And as we stand up, we're going to give a little punch up and across. So what we're doing now is we are assembling the first exercise of 4, just getting ourselves into it. And make sure when you're doing the squat, you're not letting your knees collapse forward. We want to push our hips back and then punch up and across. Try to time the punch with the extension of the leg. So that hand leaves the shoulder as the legs start to come back up. And now let's punch straight forward and across. Turning the body. Elbows in. While your hands are waiting to shoot, they should be right in front of your shoulders with your palms facing you. 1 hand at a time. And for our last move, we're going to punch down and across. Same principle applies. Punch starts as you're coming up. So your hand goes down as your body comes up. Good. Like what I'm seeing here. 1 more on each side. And now let's combine them. Up and across, out and across, and down. And this is our first exercise of the 4. First exercise of the circuit, comprised of 4 routines, all designed to help us pull that scramble off. We'll do 1 more here. Up and out and down. Step out of that. Hands up by your shoulders again. We're going into the swamp walk. So go ahead and pick that knee up as high as you can. This is for, among other things, your ability to flex that hip and get that foot up and over into a position of recovery. So we want to emphasize a big, tall knee, or a big, high knee. And we also want to kind of perceive that weight shift, observe it. It's a very important component of weight. Good, John. Good, Alexander. Beautiful. High. Pick them up. 3 more. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, third exercise is going to be 3 taps and then balance. And this is for foot speed and balance, of course. When you get those 3 taps going, get them as quick as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, spread them out. Tap and bring them in and bring them out. This is our 4th exercise. And again, we want to emphasize speed. Get those feet going out and in as quick as we can. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. March. Clear that stress pattern. Hands back up in front of the shoulders. Here we go. Squat down, Punch up and across, out and across, and down. So, up. This is our second circuit. Now, I want to say that if that foot tapping is probably one of the harder parts of this, don't get frustrated. Just keep trying to move the feet as fast as you can. It's a speed drill. You might not look like me when you do it, but I just need you to get your feet driving as fast as they can. Even if it's slow for now, we'll get the speed in there. And pick up the pace a little bit here. Out, down. Feel the full body working here. Out, down, and we'll do one more. Up, out, down, and step out of that. Hands up, swamp walk. Pick that knee up. So if you're walking through a swamp and you're up to your knees in gook, probably would step up out of it then forward rather than sludging through it. And if you've got this now, you got that knee nice and high, go ahead and come up on the tiptoe if you can with that stance leg. Get that arm all the way up. This is not speed. You just get big movements here. Up, John, you gotta fix that. That's right hand, right leg. Yep, stop it and get it recorded. There you go. I love it. My favorite thing ever to see. The correction. One more on each side. And speed up the march, so we're marching in place. Tap, 3 taps and balance. Drive with the feet. So those 3 taps as quick as they can go. Here we go, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back and forth, out and in, back and forth, here we go, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time, march. Oh, all right. I know your legs feel heavy. I know they feel tired. We've got one last one to go, and then we're gonna take it down a notch and let you recover. So here's the deal. This is our third and final circuit. This is where I need you guys to stick with me. This is where I need you to dig down and ask it of yourself. Here we go. This is where the speed and the strength really has a high return on the work. And a little faster now. Out and down. Pick them up. Throw them out. Throw them down. 3 more. Up. Out. Down. 2 more. Up. Out. Down. 1 more. Up. Out. And down. Step out of that. Hands up. Swamp walk. Pick the knee up high. This is our last chance at this. Good, Jim. Love it. Way up. Keep your knee on the respective side. Let's try not to cross your midline. Keep it up and out there so you have that nice lateral assistance for the mass of the leg. Good, David. Good work. Pick them up. Stretch that arm. Get that elbow straightened up. Come on. If you need to rest, don't just stop, do something. Don't just stand there. Come on. Here we go. Knees high. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. March in place. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Here we go. I know the legs feel tired, but this is where the hard work pays off. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out and in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, no quit. 3, 2, 1, and time. March. Big breath in to the nose. Go ahead and put the hand weights down. Remain standing, recovery breath, in through the nose, slow out through the mouth. Good. Good job, Alan. Big breath in and out. Go ahead and side to side as your heart rate comes down. Once we start class here, I try not to waste a second with you. The only time we really stop and aren't doing much is when we take a sip of water, which we're going to do in a moment here. Try to control the upward phase and the lowering phase, even if it means you just kind of go an inch or two. Give me the control and I will get you the amplitude over time. And rest. Nice tall standing posture. Check your feet. Yeah, good. All right, water break. And then we're gonna go to the towel and work on our posture and our balance and ground zero. So after this, we'll do another balance sequence with the ball. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. So in terms of posture and important locations on your body, for me, my opinion is that area between your shoulder blades, which I call ground zero. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on getting a better perception of that area which we can't see, a better perception of the area that is behind us, and a better perception of how our shoulder blades or our shoulders function. So I'm just stepping forward, pressing out, and as I return step, I'm pulling right back to the towel, to my chest. And I'm doing this and trying to envision or imagine my shoulder blades coming together and engaging that ground zero position, which is this position right here. Out to the side and right back. And again, notice the return step. Try to bring it back into a nice wide base. One more press on each side. Right leg out and back. Left leg out and back. Now let's step out to the side, press up overhead, and pull it down. Again, noticing how the shoulder blades kind of wing out, if you can kind of perceive those, and then pull down and together, engaging ground zero. Whew. Chin is level. Good. One more on each side, and then we'll combine both these two directions. So, step forward, pull on back, step forward, pull on back, step out, return step, step out, return step. Again, forward. Remember, when you pull back on both of these moves or pull down, be aware of your foot placement. Wide base, always wide base, and forward, back, forward, and back, side, and down. And we're going to do one more, and then we'll pause, holding that towel in ground zero. Breathe, and side, back, and side, and go ahead and pause. Big breath in. Pull that shoulder blade together and down. Lower the towel, lower your arms, and just observe this nice, open, broad, power chest position we have. Big breath in and exhale. Good. Glance down at your feet. How are we doing there? Got your feet apart? Good. Good. Okay, balance. Grab your ball. So we're just going to step like kind of a march in place, and as we do so, we're just going to toss the ball side to side. Figure out how I want to go about getting into this again. Okay, we're going to do the dial of the clock drill, and then we're going to do the real intense balance stuff. So we're going to imagine we're standing on the dial of the clock. We'll start stepping with our right foot. 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock will be directly in front of the stance leg, which is in this case my left leg. I'm going to put the ball in the left hand, and I'm going to step forward and across midline to 12 o'clock. I'm going to balance here, and I'm going to do one toss catch. and then I'll press back into a nice wide base of support. I'll step out here into 1 o'clock now. Balance, toss, catch, and return. 2 o'clock, toss, catch, and 3. Back slightly to 4 o'clock, return step, 5 o'clock, turn step, and now all the way back to 6 o'clock with your feet directly in line. Toss, catch, return step, pause. Notice your feet. Hopefully you're in a still nice wide base of support. Just toss it over to the other side. Now we'll go forward again, this time with the left leg, out to 12 o'clock, out to 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So the whole purpose of this is to get yourself to be able to balance in these different hip positions. That's 9 o'clock, back to 10 o'clock, or excuse me, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock directly behind. And toss it over to the other side. We'll do another one on the right side, so forward to 12 o'clock, out to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3, big steps, get them out there, 4 o'clock, 5, get the balance, toss the ball, and 6. Toss it over to the right hand, stepping forward to 12 o'clock with the left leg. Toss, catch, and back. Out to 11, 10, 9, 8. Looking at the ball is not cheating. I need you to. 7, and all the way directly behind to 6, and back to your base of support. Okay, go ahead and put the ball down. This next one is going to be challenging enough without the ball, I believe. We're going to do our tightrope walk, heel to toe. Go ahead and take a sip of water. Let's give you a little bit of a break here. Give that brain a rest. Give that body a rest. Okay. So, we're going to tightrope forward and backward, trying to do heel to toe walking. And I'm going to put you on your upper body in that no money stress position, which will give you a little bit of lateral stability. And we'll start going forward, heel to toe. Transition slowly forward, and I want you to imagine that you're balancing a plate on your head, or maybe an apple. You're balancing an apple on your head. And there's a person standing in front of you with a bow and an arrow. Just add a little, anxiety to the balance. And now backwards. Good. Breathe. And as we come forward again, come forward with control and land the edge of the heel first, and then roll the foot flat. As we come forward, heel, toe. Breathe. Heel, toe. And then as we go backward, reach back and grab the ground with the ball of the foot or the toe, and roll the foot flat as you come backwards. Balancing that plate. We're balancing that apple. Make it easy for that archer. One more time forward. You guys are doing great. Good, David. I'll hang out a little bit after class to chat. See how everybody did. And backwards. One more time. Breathe. Performing different activities that require focus and concentration, oftentimes we'll find ourselves, we're going to go one more out and back. Notice that we're holding our breath. It just happens. If you catch it, just initiate your breath and be aware of it. A lot of balance this class. You might notice actually an improvement. Even in a single session, you might find some of these drills, when you return to them the next time, even during a single session, somehow feel a little easier. Like, maybe, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong? Am I cheating? It feels easier this time. No. Oftentimes the body will improve and respond to these balance drills rather quickly. Okay, go ahead and stand up to posture. We're going to do a little bit of a cool down here, and we're going to go back to the Regenerations Tango movements 7 and 8. And we're just going to go back and forth between them slowly from the standing posture position. I'll refresh your memory. It was the right leg steps forward across midline. We got 2 claps, back, and other side, 2 claps. Let's just drill this one a couple of times to remind ourselves of it, and to remind the hips of how it feels to step across midline and gain control. Breathe. One more on each side. And now for movement 8, as you recall, it was a step backwards across midline, and we're going to get 2 little snaps, or 2 little fingers, finger flicks if you can't snap your fingers. Hopefully by now you feel a little more centered, a little more poised, a little more balanced. And again, one more here and one more there. Let's combine them now. So step forward, 2 claps, other side, and step back and snaps. Again, step forward, step backward. Don't forget to kind of enjoy the way you feel after class. You know, we get an endorphin kick sometimes for working nice and hard, which we probably worked up to enough to get an endorphin kick here today, I believe. So just enjoy it. And also enjoy the emotional component to it, that you showed up for work like a true champion, empowered, initiated, proactive in the betterment of your status. One more after this one. So last one, step forward, clap, step forward, clap, and snaps. And nice and tall. Last time, rock back and forth, get that posture set, check out the feet. Good job. Spread the base out now. We're just going to go from side to side. Pushing the hips back, stretching the hip out a little bit. For all of these classes, remember, we want to stay in a pain-free range of motion. And I want to remind you of how proud I am of each one of you, and how you are an elite group, an elite crew that is getting busy, going after it. All right, back to center, up on our tiptoes, and down. Let's bring our feet in together a little bit, kind of squirrel them back. Up and down. And then let's kind of bring them out, heel toe out apart. About right there, and up and down. Toes, heels. And bring them back. Up and down. Okay, this is a tough one, but it's a good one for ankle mobility. I'm going to ask you to lift your right toe and then lift your left heel and then alternate back and forth. It's like the moonwalk. And if we can co-coordinate the upper body in the manner in which we would be walking, as we lift that right toe, we would swing that left hand forward, back and forth like this. So we are combining proper ankle sequencing with proper arm swing. Exaggerate that toe lift, get it up. This is not easy. You can practice it, but we always want to keep our ankle functional, strong, flexible, responsive. And shake out. Big breath in. Let's go back to that no money stretch just for a minute. Go ahead and wrap that clavicle. Create that hot spot. Go back to the no money stretch. Lower your hands as you elevate or lift up that clavicle a little bit. Hands at your sides. Big breath in. And exhale. You're centered, you're strong, you're capable. Thank you. Good job, everybody. Way to work. Yes, Alexander.